Today we're going to look at the last game in the series to be released on the PlayStation, Final Fantasy IX. The story starts off with the main character Zidane, who works for a group of bandits called Tantalus. They travel to Alexandria to perform the play I Want to Be Your Canary for Queen Braun. Their real goal, however, is to abduct the Queen's daughter, Princess Garnet. Once they find her, Zidane is surprised to learn that the princess actually wants to be kidnapped. They flee in an airship hoping to reach Lindblom Castle so they can speak with Regent Cid. Of course, the Queen wants the princess back, but not for the reason you'd suspect. This leads to a lengthy adventure with many surprises and tragedies along the way. What really makes the story of this game enjoyable is the diverse cast of characters that you travel with. You get a total of 8 different party members, and most have really good character development. A few may seem somewhat simple or annoying at first, but they will drastically change and mature by the time Disc 4 rolls around. The only one that really doesn't develop much is Quina, and that's understandable because it is a bizarre character. A really cool feature in this game are ATEs, or Active Time Events. These allow you to see what other characters in the game are up to. It's a really nice addition that helps to flesh out the characters and story just a little bit more. This game has some gorgeous graphics that really push the PlayStation to its limits. This is no surprise considering that it is a Squaresoft title, and they always seem to make beautiful looking games back then. They still use pre-rendered backgrounds for this game like the previous 2 Final Fantasies, but they went with more of a fantasy setting this time around. Character models and spell effects look great as well. Not everything is perfect in this game, however. The battle system can be a bit slow. It seems like everything you do in combat requires a 1 or 2 second load time, and it makes things drag on a bit. I really love the turn-based 4-character combat though, and I love the fact that each character brings their own unique set of skills to fights. Limit breaks are back once again, although this time it is called Trance. When a character sustains damage from an enemy, it fills a meter underneath their time gauge. When it fills up all the way, that character automatically goes into trance mode, which will allow special attacks, enhanced skills, or stats depending on the character. This doesn't work out too well all the time because of the way the battle system works. A lot of times trance will trigger near the end of an encounter, and you'll be unable to use it before your next turn comes up. Your party gains new abilities by equipping certain armor and weapons. Once the character earns enough AP, the ability is learned permanently, and you can equip something else. There's also a synthesis shop, which allows you to forge some powerful and hard-to-find equipment. There are lots of fun side quests and minigames to take part in, the main one being the Chocobo Hot and Cold minigame. This quest has your Chocobo digging for special treasure maps called Chocographs. Once found, you then have to go to the world map and try to find the location of the treasure based on the picture and info. Your Chocobo will evolve throughout this minigame. He'll learn to run over mountains, run across the ocean, and eventually fly. It's a really fun minigame, and some of this game's secrets can only be accessed by completing this quest. There's also a card game called Tetramaster. Final Fantasy VIII had a fantastic card game that also yielded some great rewards. Unfortunately, that's not the case with this one. The game is quite complex and also somewhat random, and the only reward you'll get is your collector's level. Nobuo Uematsu composed what I believe to be his finest soundtrack for this game. The music was so good, in fact, that once I got internet in my house, I downloaded a bunch of MIDI files from the game, put them through a program that converted them to sheet music, and learned how to play them. I also learned a bunch of songs from Xenogears and Final Fantasy VIII. Unfortunately, I started working 60 to 70 hour weeks shortly after that, and I forgot everything that I learned. Final Fantasy IX is an outstanding RPG that is definitely worth picking up. Even though I enjoyed Tactics and 8 a little bit more, I still had a great time with this one. You should be able to snag a physical copy of this for $20 or less, and you can also pick this up on the PlayStation Network. Anyways, that will do it for this one. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time.